Good evening, everyone, and thank you for joining us. I'm Beth Jones.
And I'm Peter Dubois. Tonight, Democrats pushed through a $9.8 billion two-year state budget that ensures there will not be a government shutdown. That sparked controversy with how they did it.
An emotional debate preceded the approval of the budget in the House on a 79-61 partisan line following a breakdown of budget negotiations. The Senate also gave initial approval on a 22-11 vote. The strategy of adopting a basic budget on a simple majority vote early in the legislative session prevents Republicans from using a state government shutdown as an 11th hour negotiating tactic. Democrats said approval of a bare-bones budget with no new programs preserves Republicans' negotiating clout for additional spending proposals to be considered later in what Democrats have been calling a Part 2 of the budget. Republican leaders expressed major upset at the pushed-through vote.
Reducing income taxes for lower and middle-income people is a modest and reasonable price to generate a bipartisan budget.
There is still time for this ship to change course. There is still time for Janet to do the right thing. There is still time for Troy to do the right thing. We can do better, we should do better, and hopefully we will do better.
The Democratic maneuver required lawmakers to adjourn after the budget was adopted to ensure it goes into effect on July 1st. That's the start of the new fiscal year. Then lawmakers will have to reconvene to deal with hundreds of pending bills, as well as a supplemental budget with any new spending initiatives. Democrats and their allies said the early vote ensures that government operations will continue and provides an opportunity for both parties to work on a supplemental budget to address extra proposals later. Democratic Representative Melanie Sachs, who co-chairs the Appropriations Committee, said earlier this week they're trying to pass already promised tax relief measures and funding for basic services first, and they would consider the new proposal for the budget's Part 2.
I think it's interesting that they walked away from approving $262 million worth of tax relief currently. We need to get that passed because we made that promise. And what we have talked about repeatedly is we are very open to talking about tax relief of many forms. There are an enormous number of bills in the tax committee, and we look forward to seeing those public hearings and that public process happen in order to talk about them in a Part 2.
Well, in other news tonight, a 19-year-old Waterville man will plead guilty to conspiring to provide materials to support terrorists after reaching a plea agreement with prosecutors. Court records show Xavier Pelkey allegedly conspired with others to conduct a violent attack on a Shia mosque in the Chicago area. Pelkey is also accused of possessing 3 homemade explosive devices that were not registered to him. He faces up to 15 years in prison on the material support charge. He also faced a maximum of $250,000 in fines, as well as lifetime supervision upon release. As part of the plea agreement, prosecutors will be dropping the possession of homemade explosives device charge.
Schools in Skowhegan were closed today after a picture surfaced on social media that Skowhegan police say posed an indirect threat of harm at MSAD 54 schools. According to the Skowhegan police, there was a picture depicting an individual holding a firearm. The police department has been in contact with the schools since last night, and early this morning the decision was made to close school for the day. Chief Bucknam says as of early this afternoon, that individual who is involved has taken the initiative to reach out to the police department, and they will be meeting with detectives regarding that photo.
Well, the Maine American Federation of Labor and Congress of Industrial Organizations, or AFL-CIO as they are more commonly known, held a press conference highlighting key worker issues. More than 200 workers stood on the steps inside the Hall of Flags as union members spoke on issues working people are facing. The organization and union workers urged legislators to pass bills that would limit employers from imposing mandatory overtime on mill workers, as well as prohibiting employers from forcing employees to attend anti-union meetings. They are also asking to improve patient safety in hospitals, close the state pay gap, and strengthen apprenticeship standards in construction.
We call on legislators to strengthen workers' First Amendment rights to form those unions. We call on legislators to put limits on mandatory overtime. We call on legislators to close the wage gap and repair badly damaged pensions for public employees.
Well, the conference was part of Maine AFL-CIO's annual Labor Lobby Day.
The Maine State Chamber of Commerce held its annual Business Day at the State House inside the Hall of Flags this morning. Our Matthew Jurancic has more.
It's an opportunity for us to invite Maine businesses, our members, to come to Augusta and meet and connect with legislators and talk about what's important to them as they run their businesses.
Business leaders from Hannaford Supermarkets, Northern Light Health, and Jackson Laboratory were among those who attended the Maine State Chamber of Commerce's Business Day at the State House. Opening remarks were given by Maine Chamber of Commerce President Julia Muncy in legislative leadership, highlighting the importance of Maine's businesses.
As I like to say, Maine people are the heart and soul of the state, but Maine businesses are its lifeblood.
Attendees had the opportunity to showcase their businesses on the big stage, with many offering merchandise and demonstrations. Muncy says the event helps strengthen the bond between businesses and policymakers.
It's really about making those connections and for people to have an opportunity to meet one another and to get to know one another and to have those conversations about what's important to each other and to understand each other's perspectives.
Versant Power's lead communications specialist Marissa Miner shared what she learned from talking to legislators.
A lot of people in the southern part of the state aren't even familiar with Versant Power, so we're sharing our service territory and some of the projects that we'll be doing this year.
Poland Spring Community Relations Manager Heather Printup says she enjoys the connections made every year through this event.
We love this day in particular because we are surrounded by so many other great Maine brands, and it's really an opportunity not only for us to engage with the legislators, but us to be able to engage with other businesses as well.
In Augusta, Matthew Jurancic reporting for ABC7 and Fox 22 News.
Meanwhile, the FDA has made a life-saving overdose reversal drug more widely available than ever before. Our David Ledford spoke with Bangor Area Recovery Center about what that could mean for the community.
I think it's a great idea. I think it should have been done a long time ago.
Narcan, a nasal spray that reverses drug overdoses, can now be sold over the counter. The product is the brand name version of the drug naloxone. The U.S. Food and Drug Administration approved the spray Wednesday, marking the first naloxone product greenlit for use without a prescription. Maine Addiction Recovery Center representatives say that the change is vital for the state.
Naloxone is needed everywhere, and I believe that whether people think that there is a problem out there in our community or not, like there is. I know plenty of people, especially people close to me, who wouldn't be here today and wouldn't be accessing recovery if it wasn't for naloxone.
According to the FDA, there were more than 100,000 reported fatal overdose deaths nationwide in the 12 months leading up to October 2022, primarily driven by synthetic opioids like fentanyl. Some say they hope the change will stop people from driving for hours to get the help they need.
I think it's great, especially those in rural areas that can't get, to centers or to places or even to their doctors to get it.
For others, increasing the availability of the drug is a step towards understanding.
Any reduction in stigma that, results from things being more widely available and more talked about is always a good thing. We want people to know that naloxone is effective and that it's safe and that it's important.
According to the FDA, the approval of the medication will require a change in labeling for generic naloxone nasal sprays. The timeline of availability in stores will be determined by Narcan manufacturer Emergent Biosolutions, which the FDA says may take months. The over-the-counter price for Narcan has yet to be determined. In Bangor, David Ledford, ABC7 and Fox 22 News.
And in other news tonight, Acadia National Park is temporarily closing the carriage roads during the spring thaw. Starting tomorrow on Friday, the carriage roads will be closed to protect them during mud season. Warmer weather and wet conditions soften the roads and make them more susceptible to damage. Walking, bicycling, and riding horses under those conditions can cause ruts and potholes that channel water and make erosion even worse. The National Park Service will reopen the carriage roads once the gravel surface dries out and becomes firm enough to prevent damage. In the meantime, visitors can explore hiking trails and the Park Loop Road, which remains closed to motor vehicle traffic. until April 15th, but all good signs pointing towards just more exploration in Acadia National Park and also towards just nicer weather, too.
Well, it's funny because as much as some of us might not like mud season and the siege it lays to our floors, it's also a sign of spring and really a sign that summer isn't all that far away and that, outdoor fun is happening in this moment, but also even more to come. So if you kind of look at it that way, you sort of embrace mud season a little bit and just wear your bean boots a little bit more.
Absolutely. A great excuse to do just that.
All right. Well, with a little bit more on what we could expect conditions-wise, let's take a look outside and get a first check of our forecast.
Hey, Beth, thank you. Happy Thursday. Your first weather is brought to you by Sliba's Rug Cleaners, Maine's largest for over 70 years. And okay, opening day, temperatures in the 30s today. Did not really feel like late March, right? 38 here in Bangor, 31 Millinocket. But warmer temperatures are on the way, along with some more rain and some snow. We had a little bit of snow earlier today, an inch or two across parts of the area. That is now way over here behind it. We're building in some partly cloudy skies tonight ahead of our next weather system. It's a slow mover across the Midwest right now. That's going to increase clouds tomorrow night and give us a good chance for some rain and snow tomorrow evening, lingering through much of Saturday. I know. Our forecast for tonight, though, we're talking about mostly clear skies and partly cloudy skies with low temperatures in the 20s. Your full forecast is coming up. Beth?
Alrighty, well, still to come on Fox 22 News at 10, we'll have a story on the new partnership between Good Shepherd Food Bank and Husson University.
And a community hub in Brooklyn has been sold. We'll have more on that story and much more when we come right back.
We've got your back, road warriors, because we know you're picking up the pace. Steering life at 10 and 2. You're hitting the road. And we're helping you get there with confidence. So skip the counter without missing a beat. Choose any car in the aisle and be the boss of you. Go national. Go like a pro.
Let's face it, getting training and experience is hard, but at Loring Job Corps, we can help. From certifications in automotive technology, obtaining your CDL, or learning building trades, we have you covered. Maybe you prefer joining the high-tech world of computer networking or cybersecurity. We have that as well. Don't delay, get in the driver's seat to your future today. And the best part, Loring Job Corps is free. Receive free training, free meals, and even free housing. Call or go to jobcorps.gov/Loring. Job Corps careers begin here.
If you're waiting for a sign that it's time to finally tackle that window project, here it is. Renewal by Anderson's incredible Window Replacement Days. Get all the benefits of Renewal by Anderson's exclusive and easy replacement window process. And save a lot of money while you're at it. An immediate design consultation, exclusive Fibrix composite material windows, and precise installation by highly trained certified master installers. You get it all during Renewal by Anderson's Window Replacement Days. Call Renewal by Anderson today and take advantage of this limited time offer and special financing.
Hey man, you could save hundreds for safe driving with Liberty Mutual. They customize your car insurance, so you only pay for what you need. Woo! We gotta go again.
Only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
For the final time, Cody Rhodes goes face-to-face with the undisputed champion Roman Reigns. An all-new Friday Night SmackDown, live at 8 Eastern, 7 Central on Fox.
Saturdays, baseball's best are showing out on Fox. The biggest games on the best day of the week. Fox Saturday Baseball returns April 1st.
Coming up on Good Morning Maine, we'll have an update about the Brooklyn General Store, which is the sole grocery location for the town and of which is in need of new ownership. Plus, we'll hear about how the recent approval by the FDA for Narcan over-the-counter sales will impact how local treatment centers operate. These stories and more coming up on Good Morning Maine.
Welcome back. Dirigo Search and Rescue has announced that they are disbanding and will close up operations at the end of November. The professionally trained search team, made up of volunteers of all ages, has been out helping in search and rescue operations around the state for the last 55 years. For decades, they would get the call from state police and the Maine Warden Service to help out on ground tracks for people in need. According to Dave Martin, president and founding member of the team, he says the pandemic hurt their numbers and it's been hard to recover.
We've had a pretty good run in 55 years, and we've had a lot of community support that we've really appreciated, and we're working on what to do with all our assets.
Martin says some of the members may retire and others who remain in the area may be picked up by other teams within the Maine Association for Search and Rescue. He says the team has been called to help find at least 500 people over the years. They also assisted during the Kenduskeag Stream Race and Machias River Race.
With inflation continuing to push prices higher, food is not always a guarantee for some. That's why Husson University has teamed up with the Good Shepherd Food Bank and United Way to provide a pop-up pantry on its Bangor campus. Our Jody Hersey stopped by and shares more.
I personally know from an educator standpoint that if my students are fed well and are supported holistically, they are learning better in that environment.
College students are no different than anyone else when it comes to having to stretch every penny.
It's not just students that live on campus. We're talking commuter students. We're talking about students that do live on campus and looking for ways to stretch their dining dollars further.
Husson University's student government conducted a survey and discovered many who attend classes are struggling with basic needs, from personal hygiene products to peanut butter or pasta.
We try to make sure that there's well-rounded diet, so we do get fresh produce as well as canned vegetables, fruits, starches, grains, and then also we have the ability to provide some fresh proteins as well.
On Thursday, students and staff packaged 60 food pantry boxes inside the Newman Gym for those in need. All the items supplied were either donated or funded by the Good Shepherd Food Bank, United Way, or on-campus organizations as well as alumni and staff. The owner of Catalyst for Changewear, a Husson alum himself, created a Kid from Husson t-shirt where all the proceeds raised supported the Food Insecurity and Emergency Fund.
The campaign raised over $500 to kind of be that starting pot for some of these pop-ups.
Second-year student Jessica Saposnik says being part of the pop-up pantry at Husson is a great way to give back to her school and her community.
It feels great to be involved, I gotta say. I did switch around my schedule so that I could be here to help out because this is an important thing for college students especially.
In Bangor, I'm Jody Hersey for ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
A store that has served a town for generations is up for sale once again. Our Devin Dagnall explains.
For over a century and a half, the Brooklyn General Store has served the town of its namesake. But according to one of the owners, since acquiring and renovating the store in 2016, he and his other partners have decided it's time to pass on the torch.
So we're looking for a new owner or owners to come in and make their mark on it and keep the kitchen going and continue to serve the community for as long as they possibly can.
According to employee Don Sheehan, one of the reasons the store needs to stay open is because it's the only one for miles around.
It's 20 miles to the store in Blue Hill, you know. So, I mean, that's 20 miles, that's a 40-mile trip just to go in and get your milk and bread, you know.
So this store began in 1872, and I'm sure it functioned in a lot of ways then that it does now in providing essentials to the community.
What makes Brooklyn General Store so special is the fact that it's not just another place to get groceries. It's a hub for the entire community.
That's one of my favorite things about this store is even if I don't need anything, I usually stop in just in case. I've got a friend, Ed, who walks his dog Rocket every day. They come in here.
Rocket and I, have a habit of walking 2-3 miles every day. For about 3 years now, we've had a group of friends that get together here to have breakfast and drink coffee.
According to locals, even though the store has been passed from owners to owners and been rebuilt from the ground up, it's always kept the same spirit of community through the generations. Owner Bob Mannheimer says there are a few people already interested in purchasing the store, but if you have any interest, keep your eye out for the listing in the next few days. In Brooklyn, Devin Dagnall, ABC 7 and Fox 22 News.
You have to love that contrast. You see that older photo with that, I guess you'd call it a classic car, one of the first vehicles, right up until today, and how shiny it is and how modern. It's just an institution, and you really hope that that someone buys it,
right,
and that they can continue that community tradition.
Yeah, it's certainly a legacy that store has grown over the years, and we talked earlier about just how important those types of places are.
Smaller stores are,
right, to those smaller communities too. So
I
agree with you. Hopefully they can continue that.
Sure, the folks in the area would want to see that happen.
Absolutely.
All righty.
Well, coming up on the 10 p.m. news on Fox 22, in a first in American history, a former president, Donald Trump, has been indicted on criminal charges.
And an American journalist with Maine ties has been arrested in Russia and charged with espionage, the first since the end of the Cold War. The stories and more when the 10 p.m. news on Fox 22 continues.
Paramount Paving, Maine's go-to for all your paving and seal coating. Paramount Paving offers commercial and residential paving and seal coating services throughout eastern and central Maine. Give us a call for a free estimate today. Paramount Paving. When it comes to paving, we are Paramount.
Imagine yourself in a new Toyota.
Nice.
Sweet.
Go big or go home.
What'd you say?
What's up?
Right now, you could save up to $1,100 with affordable 3.99% financing on most four-wheel drive Tacoma models. And every Tacoma comes with 2 years no-cost maintenance and more.
Ready, set, go get your Toyota today.
Toyota, let's go places.
So cozy. How many rooms are in there? Should we go check it out? Yeah.
We get to stay here all weekend.
When you stay at a Verbo,
I call doing the door code.
the host doesn't stay with you.
It looks exactly like the picture.
Because without privacy in your vacation home,
It's a full log cabin, guys.
it isn't really a vacation,
Up by the fire.
is it?
Oh my God.
Maine Commercial Solar offers a variety of services including solar systems design, sales, maintenance, and installation. Maine Commercial Solar can help you with existing or new systems. We offer packages for installation by others, or we can help you build your own solar array, smaller residential, or anything in between. Maine Commercial Solar is currently hiring in Herman for multiple positions. We offer competitive pay, a 3% IRA match, vacation, holiday time, and a family-oriented environment. If interested, please call Jason at 848-7486.
The Great Home Show Expo will be hosting its premier home show at the Cross Insurance Center in Bangor, March 31st through April 2nd. It's a great opportunity to meet local contractors, landscapers, and specialists to get your home improvement project started. The More True team works with both buyers and sellers with a focus on the greater Bangor area. Paramount Paving offers top-notch paving and seal coating services to eastern and central Maine. Call us for a free estimate.
Paramount Paving, Maine's go-to for all your paving and seal coating. Paramount Paving offers commercial and residential paving and seal coating services throughout eastern and central Maine. Give us a call for a free estimate today. Paramount Paving. When it comes to paving, we are Paramount.
You're watching Fox 22, Bangor.
A New York grand jury voted to indict former President Trump today in connection with a hush money payment to adult film star Stormy Daniels. The indictment is filed under seal and will likely be announced in the coming days. Reaction is pouring in, meanwhile, from Mar-a-Lago and Congress. Fox's Caroline Shively reports from Washington.
Mr. Trump's attorneys say he committed no crimes, and they pledge to fight these charges in court. Authorities in New York City on high alert following the revelation a grand jury voted to indict former President Trump. The charges relate to a hush money payment made to adult film star Stormy Daniels.
It's a raw political prosecution. Now, the indictment may come out with a crime that none of us have heard of.
Accusations against Mr. Trump stem from his former attorney, Michael Cohen, paying Daniels $130,000 to remain quiet over an alleged sexual encounter with the former president. The grand jury was deciding whether Trump falsified business documents when his company reported the reimbursement to Cohen as legal expenses. Former President Trump reacted in a statement, calling the indictment political persecution and election interference at the highest level in history. Most Republicans are rallying to his side.
think this is going to backfire on the Democrats. And again, we know that Trump is a fighter. He leans into the fight. He's not going to go anywhere.
Democrats, meanwhile, are praising the move, arguing accountability is long overdue.
I would caution those who believe that President Trump is being politically persecuted here to not persecute our judicial and legal system.
Mr. Trump has vowed an indictment will not stop his 2024 presidential campaign. In Washington, Caroline Shively, Fox News.
Well, there is significant new tension between the U.S. and Russia over the arrest of an American journalist. A reporter for the Wall Street Journal has been arrested in Russia on charges of espionage, and that reporter is a graduate of Bowdoin College here in Maine. Fox's Greg Palcott has the latest.
Charged with spying on Russia, 31-year-old American reporter for the Wall Street Journal, Evan Gershkovich. The FSB intelligence agency, the successor of the old KGB, alleges Gershkovich was acting on instructions from the American side to collect information about the activities of one of the enterprises of the Russian military-industrial complex. That constitutes a state secret.
The only thing I can say is, as far as we know, he was caught red-handed.
The Journal shot back. The Wall Street Journal vehemently denies the allegations from the FSB and seeks the immediate release of our trusted and dedicated reporter, Evan Gershkovich. We stand in solidarity with Evan and his family. Gershkovich was reportedly arrested Wednesday in the Russian city of Yekaterinburg, 900 miles east of Moscow, where he was working on another story.
Evan is definitely not an enemy of Russia.
He was brought back to the Russian capital, formally charged at a closed hearing. He pled not guilty and was taken away to pretrial detention. This increases already high tensions between the U.S. and Russia as the war in Ukraine continues. Gershkovich is the first American journalist to be arrested in Russia on espionage charges since the Cold War. He faces up to 20 years in jail.
It has a chilling effect on foreign journalists, especially Western journalists.
Still, after the lengthy process to obtain the release of Russian-held WNBA star Brittany Griner, thoughts were already turning to what it would take to get this latest American out of Russian captivity. If you're looking for reasons why the Kremlin might want Evan Gershkovich locked up, look no further than his Tuesday Wall Street Journal article. The headline, "The Russian economy is coming undone." One quote, "There will be no money next year." Another, "The long-term picture is bleak." Definitely not what Vladimir Putin wants to hear or read. In London, Greg Palcott, Fox News.
Protesters, meanwhile, calling for gun safety demonstrated inside Tennessee's state capitol just 3 days after 6 people were gunned down inside a private Nashville elementary school. Fox's Jonathan Siri has more.
Hundreds of parents, students, and community members rally at Tennessee's state capitol, demanding gun reform Thursday. Protesters surrounding the state house and then facing off with lawmakers inside, demanding a ban on assault rifles. The demonstration came just days after 3 kids and 3 adults were gunned down inside a private Nashville elementary school by a 28-year-old shooter carrying 2 assault rifles and a handgun. Calls for gun safety come as Republican leaders in Tennessee look to relax several of the state's gun laws. Just this week, the minimum age for carrying a handgun without a permit dropped from 21 to 18. It's a move that's angered many, including local Democratic lawmakers.
You are out here banning drag shows when the real threat to our community are mass shootings.
Gun safety has also become a heated topic on Capitol Hill, where New York Congressman Jamal Bowman and Kentucky Congressman Thomas Massie got into a shouting match on the issue just off the House floor Wednesday. Massie saying arming teachers could be a way to counter the problem of mass shootings. Bowman disagreed, saying more guns just lead to more deaths.
And all Republicans are doing is talking about fake crises and fear-mongering with China. China's on the other side of the world. We got mass shooters down the street.
On Thursday, Tennessee Senators Marsha Blackburn and Bill Hagerty introduced the Safe School Act. It's aimed at hiring veterans and former police officers to serve as school safety officers. In Atlanta, Jonathan Siri, Fox News.
China is responding to the president of Taiwan's visit to New York City Thursday, her trip reigniting the tensions between the U.S. and Beijing over the island. Fox's Madeline Rivera takes a closer look.
A warm welcome in New York City for Taiwan President Tsai Ing-wen Wednesday. In her first visit to the U.S. since the coronavirus pandemic, Tsai praised the relationship between the two countries.
We appreciate the U.S. government's commitment to Taiwan's security under the Taiwan Relations Act and the 6 assurances.
U.S. officials are downplaying her trip, calling it a transit and not an official visit, as she heads to Guatemala and Belize. Tsai is not meeting with senior members of the Biden administration, and the U.S. maintains it's not violating its policy of strategic ambiguity towards Taiwan.
We see no reason for Beijing to turn this transit, which is consistent with long-standing U.S. policy and practice, into something that is not. They should not overreact.
Last year, tensions with China reached levels not seen in nearly 3 decades, after then House Speaker Nancy Pelosi visited Taipei as part of her tour of Asia. Beijing launched unprecedented military exercises around the island and cut off dialogue with the U.S. across a range of policy topics. China sees Taiwan as part of its territory and is closely watching Tsai's trip.
We urge the U.S. to abide by the One China principle.
Some are denouncing Beijing's rhetoric.
The end game is obviously they're trying to provoke a fight.
Tsai is expected to meet with House Speaker Kevin McCarthy in California as she comes back from Central America. China is threatening retaliation if that meeting does take place. In New York, Martha Rivera, Fox News.
And still to come on Fox 22 News at 10, another train carrying toxic materials derails in western Minnesota. We'll have the latest.
And in sports, Handon Academy boys lacrosse gears up for their first season as a varsity program. That story coming up.
Kings of the Lanes lay everything on the line for a major. The PDA USBC Masters Finals, Sunday on Fox.
Celebrate Ram Truck Month at Quirk Ram in Bangor and Belfast. Lease the reliable Ram 1500 Classic Warlock Quad Cab for $429 per month. It's your Ram truck. Find it at Quirk.
If you're waiting for a sign that it's time to finally tackle that window project, here it is. Renewal by Anderson's incredible Window Replacement Days. Get all the benefits of Renewal by Anderson's exclusive and easy replacement window process. And save a lot of money while you're at it. An immediate design consultation, exclusive Fibrix composite material windows, and precise installation by highly trained certified master installers. You get it all during Renewal by Anderson's Window Replacement Days. Call Renewal by Anderson today and take advantage of this limited time offer and special financing.
Come try one of our daily specials at Pat's Pizza in Handon.
Tuesday, spaghetti or ziti with meatballs or sausage, only $5.50.
Wednesday, large one-topping pizza, only $8.50.
Thursday, get an oven-baked wrap for only $6.
Friday is fish and fries for only $8.
And Saturday, get a small one-item pizza with a fountain soda, only $8.
Bring the family to Pat's Pizza, 662 Main Road, North Handon.
If you're a woman between the ages of 50 and 74, talk to your provider about being screened for breast cancer.
At age 37, I was scared and confused when my doctors found a lump in my breast. I hadn't even had a mammogram yet.
Ask your doctor about breast cancer screening at your next visit.
I'm doing great now, but I tell my friends getting screened is important to you and the ones you love.
Watch for changes in your breasts and learn more about breast cancer screening at screenmaine.org.
It's your journey. Own every mile in an available H-Track all-wheel drive Hyundai SUV.
Lease the 2023 Hyundai Santa Fe SE for $339 per month. It's your Hyundai. Find it at Quirk.
A freight train derailed early this morning in western Minnesota. BNSF Railway saying it's on the ground helping to monitor air quality. Fox's Garrett Tenney has more.
Nearly 24 train cars derailed and caught fire in Minnesota overnight, forcing residents to evacuate their homes. The accident happened around 1 a.m. local time in the small town of Raymond, roughly 100 miles west of Minneapolis. BNSF Railway says several of the cars were carrying ethanol in corn syrup. Firefighters have been working for hours to put out the flames.
And your first thought is that's a big bomb waiting to explode on that. I hope you know that the safeguards that were put in place, the regulations and the things that the railroad does, is to make sure they don't explode.
Police say no one was injured in the accident and residents were allowed to return later Thursday morning. The railway, along with EPA officials, say crews will remain on the ground to ensure the health and safety of the community.
Ethanol will burn off, and we're monitoring the air, and we're monitoring all the conditions around the derailment site.
This derailment happened nearly 2 months after a Norfolk Southern train ran off the tracks in East Palestine, Ohio. On Thursday, Democratic senators from Pennsylvania and Ohio introduced the Railway Accountability Act to help prevent future catastrophes and hold railway companies accountable. At a news conference, BNSF CEO defended the company's operations.
99.99% of all hazardous commodities get to destination without incident. So we are very safe. We are a very effective movement.
The NTSB says it's launching an investigation into the cause of the Minnesota derailment. In Chicago, I'm Garrett Tenney, Fox News.
A federal judge in Texas has struck down Obamacare coverage of preventative care for conditions that include cancer, diabetes, and HIV. The mandate in the Affordable Care Act requires coverage of various screenings and drugs, including those that prevent HIV infection in high-risk populations. Under the Affordable Care Act's mandate, private health insurance plans must cover the screenings. 2 Christian businesses and several individuals sued the federal government 3 years ago, arguing that the mandate violates their religious freedom and the U.S. Constitution. The Biden administration is expected to appeal that ruling.
House Republicans have pushed through a major energy bill to streamline the drilling application process. Today's 225 to 204 vote included support from 4 Democrats. GOP lawmakers say if the bill makes it past the Senate and the president's desk, it would help lower energy prices. Fox's Chad Pergram has more.
House Republicans deemed the bill the most important legislation of the year, designating it H.R. 1.
We made a commitment to America that we would lower your energy costs.
The legislation accelerates reviews for drilling permits and the construction of pipelines. It also curbs the president's power to restrict fracking. The House approved the bill 225 to 204. Brian Fitzpatrick, the lone Republican, nay. But 4 Democrats voted with the GOP to pass the bill.
Bipartisan.
The 4 Democratic yeas are moderates representing competitive districts.
We should be leading the world in energy production. We shouldn't rely on the Middle East and other countries to produce energy for us.
But the Democratic brass says defectors should explain themselves.
Every member who either votes for or against a bill that, in my view, puts polluters over people will articulate their perspective to the constituents that they represent back home.
The bill's future is murky.
H.R. 1 is dead on arrival in the Senate. Not because of politics, but because it's so ridiculous.
But McCarthy insists moderate Senate Democrats see it differently.
If Schumer would even ask his own conference, I think there's a lot of people there that want to make American energy.
Republicans demanded McCarthy give them more say on bills in order for him to become Speaker. McCarthy allowed members to amend the bill on the fly, but that's why the bill could be dead across the Capitol rotunda.
The downside is some of these bills become more partisan through the amendments, and I think I'm looking to pass things that have a chance to go through the Senate.
If the bill dies, some GOP members hope to attach drilling permits to the debt ceiling later this summer. On Capitol Hill, Chad Pergram, Fox News.
All right. Well, coming up, we'll have more insight on the weather conditions in the coming days.
Yeah, it's super important as we get closer and closer to the weekend. Let's see what's heading our way in the full 5-day.
It's opening day with temperatures mostly in the 30s out there today. It didn't really feel like late March, but overall we have more warmer temperatures on the way and some rain and snow. Those details for you when I come back.
Electrify Maine is Maine's #1 electrical contractor, providing outstanding electrical services to businesses, industries, and homes throughout the state. Electrify Maine also sells and installs heat pumps and is a licensed Generac dealer. Call us today for a free estimate.
There's never been a better time to get away with a great deal on the Hyundai you've always wanted. With America's best warranty and up to 3 years complimentary maintenance. It's your journey. Own every mile at the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Now's the time to get in and get away. Lease an all-wheel drive Tucson for $249 a month, including $500 lease bonus cash. See your Bangor Hyundai dealer.
Pepper's Landing is the definition of authentic Maine dining. Named in honor of our grandfather, the primary focus at Pepper's Landing is offering a variety of fresh, locally harvested seafood to all. We take pride in our quality and selection, but it doesn't end with just seafood. We also offer delicious selections of burgers, pasta, steaks, and more. So stop in to any of our locations and see what Pepper's Landing is all about.
Electrify Maine is Maine's #1 electrical contractor, providing outstanding electrical services to businesses, industries, and homes throughout the state. Electrify Maine also sells and installs heat pumps and is a licensed Generac dealer. Call us today for a free estimate.
Saturdays. Baseball's best are showing out. MLB on Fox returns Saturday at 3:30 Eastern.
Here we go. Your full weather is brought to you by C&K Variety. Stop by C&K Variety in Herman today for hand-tossed pizza, subs, salads, and more. C&K Variety, your go-to convenience store. Okay, so for us, here we go. Lots of clouds earlier today with some light snow overnight last night. That quickly left this morning. We were left with partly cloudy skies through the afternoon. It was okay, right, with temperatures in the 30s and 40s out there, so a bit below average in temperatures. We're going to work on that, though. But our next system is just now beginning into the picture off to the west here. That's going to bring us some rain and snow tomorrow night and through much of Saturday. Looks pretty wet around here once again. And there's more to this, right? There's several waves kind of coming our way. Overall, a kind of wet pattern we're stuck in for the next 7 to 10 days around here. Let's walk you through it. So overall tonight, no worries at all. Mostly clear skies after midnight. For tomorrow, here's 4 o'clock in the morning. Looking at mostly clear skies, looking pretty good, right? But increasing clouds throughout the day tomorrow. And by 11 o'clock tomorrow night, here's a combination of some rain, freezing rain, and some snow. No dark blue colors in here, but there will be a burst of some moderate to light snow for a couple hours tomorrow evening. And then it'll take over as rain tomorrow night into and through much of Saturday. In fact, not ending probably till Saturday night into Sunday morning. And we have lots of moisture to get through, most of which will be rain again, but there will be a little bit of snow, especially tomorrow night into early parts of Saturday morning. Behind that, though, we're looking at a nice day for Sunday, followed by increasing clouds Sunday night. Ahead of our next system on Monday, this could bring us another rain-snow mix on Monday into early parts of Tuesday. So again, a very active weather pattern out there right now. So overall, here's what we're talking about, right? We're talking about a rain event. So if this happens all as rain, we're talking maybe up to an inch of rainfall, and it's not going to fall all as rain. There'll be a little bit of snow in here. Not a lot of snow, just a little snow. We're talking probably a dusting to an inch of snow later tomorrow night into early parts of Saturday morning. And there's still lots of snow on the ground just north of our area. Bangor down to 0, of course, but just north of here, we're talking feet of snow still on the ground. And temperatures didn't melt much today. 31 in Millinocket, 38 here in Bangor. Overall, we have warmer temperatures on the way. Our forecast then for tonight, though, we're talking mostly clear skies, low temperatures down near 20 with a west wind around 10 to 15 for tomorrow. All right, so increasing clouds, but nice, right? 45 for a high tomorrow. That's about what we're supposed to this time of year with a west wind around 5 to 10. And then looking ahead, your 5-day forecast shows mostly cloudy skies tomorrow afternoon. There's that rain likely on Saturday, starting off as a little bit of snow late tomorrow night into early parts of Saturday. We get a break in the action Sunday, maybe a couple more clouds on Monday, followed by the return of 50s on Tuesday. Beth?
So one kind of dreary day on Saturday. Not too bad.
I'm actually kind of looking forward to it.
Yeah.
As we said before, a nice excuse to kind of just chill out and not do too much around.
Do the laundry.
Yeah. Got some chores to do.
We have chores. All right. Well, sports is coming up next. Stay with us.
Paramount Paving, Maine's go-to for all your paving and seal coating. Paramount Paving offers commercial and residential paving and seal coating services throughout eastern and central Maine. Give us a call for a free estimate today. Paramount Paving. When it comes to paving, we are Paramount.
Right now at Planet Fitness, you can get that big fitness energy for just $1 down, $10 a month. No commitment, cancel anytime. It's a great deal, and our 17 million members agree.
You can say that again.
Okay, as I said, you can join for just $1 down, $10 a month.
What a deal!
So turn your low energy into big fitness energy and enjoy tons of equipment in a clean and spacious judgment-free zone to get that post-workout glow. So get going, or shall I say glowing? Join for just $1 down, $10 a month, no commitment. Cancel anytime. Deal ends Wednesday, April 5th.
The Lucerne Inn and Ryan's Pub is world-renowned for beautiful dining with a delicious view. Come and enjoy the experience of their all-you-can-eat seafood dinner every Friday night, now through April, with award-winning dishes from their executive chef, Arturo Montes. Simply call to make your reservation or order for takeout. You can also take your taste buds on a journey with their 5-course international menu, Tuesday through Thursday, for just $29.95 per person. The Lucerne Inn, beautiful dining with a delicious view.
Sunday on Fox. Let's roll! The Kings of the Lanes lay everything on the line for a major.
There it is! Barrett has done it! Belmo adds to his legacy!
This is where names become legends, and legends become champions.
He's the greatest!
The PBA USBC Masters Finals, Sunday at 1 Eastern on Fox.
Paramount Paving, Maine's go-to for all your paving and seal coating. Paramount Paving offers commercial and residential paving and seal coating services throughout eastern and central Maine. Give us a call for a free estimate today. Paramount Paving. When it comes to paving, we are Paramount.
Tonight's Sports is brought to you by Engstrom's Auto Service in Guilford. We specialize in all foreign and domestic service and alignments.
Hey everybody, Ryan Sudol here. Thank you so much for sticking with us. Let's start out on the turf. Hamden Academy made some history this week as they rolled out varsity boys lacrosse for the first time ever. Tyler Cruz has the story.
It's the best thing in the world. You know, we've been a club team for 2 years and we're finally able to get on the turf.
It's been a long time coming.
I think it finally gives some of us that have been playing our whole lives some recognition. We've been fighting for this in the town meetings and everything.
But for the first time in the school's history, a varsity boys lacrosse team took the field at Hamden Academy for practice this week.
We've been trying to make it a varsity sport. We got the idea my freshman year, 3 years ago, and it's great to have it finally be a sport, varsity sport.
It's just a great feeling, you know, able to grow the sport and introduce so many kids to it, and hopefully they'll fall in love with it like I did.
And 40 Broncos showed up to work.
Everyone's really excited to be here. That's why we have such good numbers compared to any program I've ever been on. And we're taking it one day at a time, and it's going in the right direction.
Great numbers. I mean, as you can see, look, we've got 40 guys here, so a lot of these guys have played for a lot of years, so it was definitely a need in the community.
A lot of other schools don't even have this turnout, so it's great to see that, you know, as a first-year sport, this is like unheard of.
Now, there are some first-timers out there, but a lot of these guys have been putting in the work these past few seasons, either with the Broncos club team.
It was a great experience, got a lot of interest in the program, and, it was great.
Or over in Bangor, where some of them helped the Rams win their first playoff game in history just a year ago.
Now they're bringing that experience and what it takes to get back to that. So these guys are pushing the rest of the team.
Just some veteran experience with this being a JV team the last couple of years. We can share our experiences to all the 40 guys. I think we'll be on the right page.
I've grown up with a lot of those buddies, but it's going to be good to play them this year and show them what we're made of as Hamden students.
But all 40 Broncos are setting out to do one thing this season, and that's show the state of Maine what Hamden lacrosse is all about.
My biggest goal for our team is we can earn some respect. I think a lot of people, all the teams we're playing, just look down on us. I think we're a first-year team, just a JV team last year. Get some wins and earn some respect.
These guys are focused right from the get-go. There was no fooling around. They knew that, they want to prove themselves and prove that they belong as a varsity program in the area.
Reporting in Hamden, I'm Tyler Cruz, ABC 7, Fox 22 Sports.
Thank you so much for that, Tyler. Let's stay on the lacrosse field now. We'll head up the road to Husson, where the Eagles women's lacrosse squad has won 3 of their last 4 heading into conference play. Husson closed out their non-conference slate with a big road win at Emerson College on Tuesday, and they open up NAC play this Saturday when they host Maine Farmington at 4 p.m. The Eagles were picked to finish 5th out of the 7 teams in the NAC, and they say they're out to prove some people wrong. And it's their chemistry and communication that's been leading them so far this season.
I think our team is a lot more like connected this year. We have a lot of good new players. We have a lot more people this year, and we just, after every game, we always focus on what we need to work on, and that's been helping us a lot.
I think it's definitely just like our team sticking together and like bringing each other up on and off the field, whether it's like on the bench or in the game. Like everybody's just cheering each other on, and we're just always there supporting each other.
The Eagles offensively have been on fire. They've scored just under 15 goals a game their last 5 games. And one of the leaders there is freshman Avery Baker. Baker, who also plays field hockey in the fall, says she wasn't even going to play college lacrosse. But now she's been named the NAC's Rookie of the Week for 3 straight weeks and says it's her team that deserves some of that credit.
I've been scoring quite a bit, but the team really has done good at like fast breaks and getting the ball up the field. My first day of practice, I just felt like I was part of the team. Like they just took me under their wing and just have been supporting me throughout the season, just keeping me at my best.
Okay, let's do that hockey. A big one at TD Garden tonight as the Bruins look to clinch the President's Trophy with a win over Columbus. Let's get right to the action. First period, uneven break for the Jackets. Liam Foodie with it. He'll find Jack Roslovic in stride at the doorstep. Nice pass and finish. Jackets lead 1-0 after 1. Second period, Bruins on the power play. Pavel Zacha gets in. Backhander to Tyler Bertuzzi right in front. He sneaks it back past Michael Hutchinson. We are tied. It would stay tied through the third period. We go to OT. And right at the start of OT, Hampus Lindholm up ahead to David Pastrnak, and he sends them home. His 53rd goal of the year as the Bruins win it 2-1 in OT. They clinch the President's Trophy and break the all-time wins record in team history for a season with 58. Wow. Okay, let's get to some baseball now. Opening day around the MLB on Thursday. I think it should be a holiday myself. I second Tyler Cruz's emotion. Sox starting off their 2023 campaign at home against the Orioles. Rafi Devers, the multi-million-dollar man, making his way onto the field at Fenway. Top 4. Score tied, but not for long. Ramon Urias jumps all over Corey Kluber's fastball over the monster for the 2-run jam. To the 5th. Kluber out, Ryan Brazier in, Adley Rutschman gets a hold of this one, slaps it the other way. That brings home 2. It's 8-2 Orioles. Here come the Sox, though. Bottom 8. Christian Arroyo ropes this one over the head of the left field. That'll be a 2-run double. It is 10-7. 10-8 now in the 9th. Masa Yoshida. Looks like this one's going to be a game-ending double play, but the toss to first is errant. That scores Alex Verdugo. It is 10-9 now. Adam Duvall is the winning run at the plate, but he swings right through the 0-2 pitch. Sox fight, but they fall in this one. 10-9 is the final. Okay, that's all the time we have for sports. I'm Ryan Sudol. We'll be back right after the break.
Tonight's Stock Report is brought to you by Maine Valve, with more than 30 years of experience across the state of Maine, providing top quality real estate services.
Tomorrow morning on Star 97.7, Paul Dupuis has the music and fun. Sonny Shepard brings you Star 97.7 local news, and Steve McKay with the weather. Turn on your radio and get the Star treatment with Star 97.7.
Maine Commercial Solar offers a variety of services including solar systems design, sales, maintenance, and installation. Maine Commercial Solar can help you with existing or new systems. We offer packages for installation by others, or we can help you build your own solar array, smaller residential, or anything in between. Maine Commercial Solar is currently hiring in Herman for multiple positions. We offer competitive pay, a 3% IRA match, vacation, holiday time, and a family-oriented environment. If interested, please call Jason at 848-7486.
It's time to bring balance to business travel and discover the equilibrium that works for you. At National, you're in control. Skip the counter, choose any car in the aisle, and manage your rental right from the app. So you can mix work with leisure, or leisure with work, giving you the control to find the perfect balance. Go National. Go like a pro.
Imagine yourself in a new Toyota.
Yeah. Sick.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah.
Right now, you could save up to $1,400 with affordable 3.99% financing on a luxurious Highlander. And every Highlander comes with 2 years no-cost maintenance and more.
Ready, set, go get your Toyota today.
Toyota, let's go places.
Joan was diagnosed with stage 4 colon cancer in 2017 at the age of 49.
I had surgery in January of 2018. That was successful to remove the liver tumor and the colon tumor. Surgeons were really happy about it, and then I had 6 months of follow-up chemo. Ever since then, fall of 2019, I've been in the clear.
It all begins with a conversation. Contact your doctor today.
Tomorrow morning on Star 97.7, Paul Dupuis has the music and fun. Sonny Shepard brings you Star 97.7 local news. And Steve McKay with the weather. Turn on your radio and get the Star treatment with Star 97.7.
The Bristol Dirt Race. Chaos will ensue. The NASCAR Cup Series, Bristol. Easter Sunday on Fox.
Good news for Maine's moose population. Far fewer calves are dying from tick-borne disease. The Maine Department of Inland Fisheries and Wildlife says a study of about 70 moose calves last year showed an 87% mortality rate. Compare that to this year, where a study of the same size showed less than 3% mortality. Maine's moose biologist Lee Cantar says it's too soon to tell if that dramatic drop indicates any sort of ongoing trend.
Nevertheless, some great news there. And finally tonight, public libraries are lending so much more than just books these days. The Carver Memorial Library in Searsport is lending out backpacks for all ages with various themes like Maine, birding, or math. The backpacks filled with books, DVDs, and games. Library members can loan out the bags for a month at a time. The library even has a seed lending library within the building for those wishing to start a small garden of their own.
We lend all kinds of things, like you mentioned, the backpacks. We've also got musical instruments. We've also got craft kits. We've been doing a lot of take and make type crafts. So we have them for the younger ages, but we also have DIY kits for adults, and we have a spice club.
The Carver Memorial Library is open Monday through Saturday, and just great to hear that they're expanding on everything that they're offering their community.
You know, I always grew up with this perception, and you likely did too, that, you know, that these libraries are kind of epicenters of the community and that they're responsible for sort of sending education out into the community, and it looks like they're broadening that mission beautifully.
In so many cool ways.
Alrighty, folks, that's going to do it for us. Take care and good night.
Good night, everyone.
For more local news coverage, switch over to our sister station, ABC7, right now for ABC7 News at 11.
In some areas in the U.S., Native women are murdered at rates more than 10 times.